I just learned sales from this one book, and it literally turned my one close a month to a 5 close a month, a literal 5x from just reading this book. And it took me like 5 hours to read this book, 5x my income. And the book name is Psychology of Sales by Brian Tracy. And in today's video, I'm going to show you all the lessons I've learned and I've applied in my sales through this book. Lesson 1: the attitude you need to take when it comes to selling. So this is something that I've need to apply at the start. It's the attitude that instead of you trying to sell them something, you need to think that you're trying to help them. You're trying to better their life. It's not about you. Sales is not about you. Sales is about them. So you want to make this whole sales process about what they want and who they are. So when it comes to selling, you shouldn't be like very greedy, very pushy toward your pitch. It's typically the pitch will come naturally when the client asks for pitch. So they will have questions. So if they hop on the call with you, they will know that they're ready to hear some service out. They will never expect that you are so understanding of their problem, who they are, and what they do. And that is the attitude you need to take towards selling. Selling is more about you exploring the other person's world rather than just being in your own and trying to make them think that your world is the best and they should buy it. The next attitude you gotta have is that when you fail a pitch or when you get rejected toward like something, it doesn't matter. You just gotta move on. You can't dwell on the rejection. If you take enough rejection, there will be eventually a time where they agreed with you. So instead of making your goals say, hey, I should close these amount of people, think of it as a rejection game. I should get rejected this much time every day, or else my day is not complete. It doesn't mean that you should, go and offend them so they reject you, but more that you keep an open mind to rejection, and it's more about them and it doesn't work for them. It's nothing about you, but it's more about them. So you gotta handle rejection like it's just a piece of paper. The moment that it just land on you, you just gotta brush it off. It's that simple. It's very light, and you just gotta take it away. Second lesson of sales is that you need to relate to the customer. So I've already mentioned that you should understand their world, understand what they want, ask them question. And here's some of the questions I would ask. What's your goals? What type of things are you trying to achieve in the next days or month? What have you experienced so far? What type of problem have you had? So those are all important aspects of sales. You just gotta understand what they want before selling to them. And what that does, it helps you understand this. So this is a very important concept. It's called a hot button concept. So what a hot button does, it kind of gives you an idea of what they want. So as you approach the pitch, you have that hot button in hand and you see pressing it over and over in your pitch to convince them to convert to you. And this is only done through you understanding what they want, asking them questions and stuff. So for example, there's this example in the book. It mentioned that there's this real estate agent and he's selling to his family, and as the real estate agent take them through the house, he showed them this, asked them this type of question. Hey, do you want like this painting? Do you like this scenery? And when he gets to the kitchen, he heard the wife yell out, "It's a lovely cherry tree. I want that cherry tree." So in this real estate person mind, here's what he thought. My hot button right now is cherry tree. It doesn't matter how good the house is. It doesn't matter how great the house is. As long as the cherry tree is there, as long as you convince them, they're blindsided to everything else but the cherry tree. So, this real estate agent, as he walked around the house, he said, here's the living room, here's the bedroom. Oh look, the bedroom you can see the cherry tree. The living room, oh wow, you can see a cherry tree. Especially in the spring, the cherry tree will fall down at the beautiful leaf and you can see it right out your window. And that sold them. Doesn't matter what appliance there is, doesn't matter how big, how good the house is. You just gotta have that hot button and understand what's their hot button is to achieve the pitch. Lesson number 3, pre-handling objection. So this one is fairly important and I've recently just applied this. This is the concept that before your pitch, everything that you said before it, you just gotta clear it out the way so people don't get defensive. Before the pitch, you haven't sold them anything yet, you're just asking them questions. So that means you could ask, hey, if we were to work together, are you able to make a decision? And that kind of get rid of the objection later on, as say after your pitch they say, hey, I can't do this right now because I need to have someone to be here to make the decision. And by asking beforehand, you kind of know that before. So for example, you could ask before this, if we were to partner up together, what would be a problem that you would see coming that would prevent this to happen? That would say money, time, blah 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 blah, stuff like that. And you can handle that beforehand, before the pitch. And for example, if they just say, I really want this to happen, man, but I just don't have the money to do this right now. Guess what? What you can do is during your pitch, you can try to convince them this is less about the money, but it's more about the value that they get. So it's, people hate losing. So just make it sound like that they're spending money and we're spending money as well, and it's kind of like a balance in both. You gain this and they lose this. You gotta make it so that you lose more and they gain more. People love winning. So if you just make the situation that seem like that you're losing and they're winning in this situation, and it's an easy win-win for both of us. And that connects perfectly to lesson number 4, how to develop your pitch, how to pitch effectively. Again, so it's less about the pitch, but it's more about what you have gathered beforehand. Like I said, you need to have the hot button, handling objection, what type of things make them tick. You gotta understand all of that and make sure that you can solve their problem. So when you're in their pitch, what you want to do is this. Say, hey, I've had this service for you and I can solve your problem, and what your problem will be solved, you will get hot button, the hot result. So for the real estate agent, it will be the cherry tree, and say like, hey, will solve your we're living in an apartment problem, and if you don't want to live in an apartment anymore, I can solve your problem and put you in a house, and from there you get a house as well as what you want, the cherry tree outside. And that's the important things. You just gotta understand that when you're in a pitch with them, what you want to do is try to spam that hot button and as fast as you can, trying to assure that their problem is non-irrelevant. So basically, what I would do, for example, their problem is they don't have enough money, and instead of just saying, hey, maybe we could make this less money for you or whatever, that would just make them more suspicious, because it's just like they don't have money and you're just trying to like throw this item at them. So what I would do is just try to convert this into a value, try to make them see that this item that you're selling is worth the value that they're looking at. And you kind of just have to project them in the future. People love a good story. So if you can project a story in their mind and they can see ahead of the vision that you're envisioning for them, then the pitch will be successful. You just gotta learn what they want, what they have envisioned, put a picture in their mind. What you have in your mind, put it right into their mind, and they will convert. And so what I want you to do is just practice these pitches. This is what I've done. I've just practiced pitch every single day, and the easiest way to do that is cold calling. It's quick, fast, and easy. And again, once you do cold calling, it's people will just give them your 5 minutes of your time. So you have to make that pitch quick, effective, and to the point. So if you want to practice your pitch, I would do cold calling, and once you get a bit more advanced and you book more appointment where people are actually interested, you can apply these skills and actually learn to sell. The last lesson for today is handling objection. This is what I personally avoid to handle, because if they had come up with objection right after your pitch, it just means that you haven't pre-handled objection right. But again, if there's a plan A, there must be a plan B. So how to handle objection? I could go through all of the excuse, all of the reason that they have to just kind of put objection up to you. So here's the basic concept. Make them perceive a value. Selling is more about selling a value to them rather than selling a product. So instead of saying, hey, this product is so good, blah 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 blah, you shouldn't worry about your money, blah 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 blah, you shouldn't try to reassure them. Just try to make them feel the value that you can provide. And for example, if one of their problem is time, they say, hey, I can't do this right now, I could do this in the future, will you be open to that? What you can do is you can create a competitive standpoint in their mind and say this, hey, whatever names I'm just used to say, hey John, I totally understand, just you make sure you gotta agree with them, and I can't assure you that the time that you want to work with us, we can give you the same offer. As of currently now, we have multiple other prospects that are looking at us right now, and we are trying to keep our book close to just 20 people. So we just have a very limited open spot. And if you're open, so this is where you put a counter argument. And if you're open for us to just try it out right now, and if you don't like it, you don't have to pay. Put them a guaranteed. And that guarantee will reassure them and make them move forward with you. Or even like guaranteed, hey, if this doesn't work and you don't like us, we will pay you $5,000. Sound absurd, and they're like, what? You pay us $5,000? Guess what? Once they work with you and they're satisfied with you, they won't ask for that $5,000. And like, for all of the clients that I've worked before, zero of them have said, hey, Quan, this hasn't worked out, give me that $5,000. Never. I just say, hey Quan, I totally understand, this doesn't work out, it's my fault, it's my end. And they just blame all of themselves. People are very self-conscious, so they just think that they're a problem most of the time, and they won't ask for the thing. I don't think I have anyone that asks for the $5,000, but Again, you can even make the pitch say that, hey, I'm trying to meet my quota. If you pull the trigger right now, I'll be able to reduce the price down for you, and you can have everything you want. So that's just basically the idea of handling objection and countering the objection with a better offer. And yep, that's pretty much it for all of the lesson I've learned from this book so far. I'm planning to reread it again as I grow. Look, I'm not affiliated with this book in any way, and you can find this book. It's called Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy on Amazon or on some other bookstore. It's just that I really enjoy this book, and I hope you guys could learn some value from this. And if you want me and my team to help you with your sales process and learn to be a better salesperson, then book a call with me below. Other than that, later.